the nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight,
I am Loretta Chiogo. Hello and welcome tonight. The combatants lock horns in Anambra State. The NNPC dismisses accusation of underhand dealings by Swiss-based organization, the Berne Declaration. Sarah petitions the United Nations over the illegal detention of Mrs. Clara Chime, wife of Enugu State Governor Sullivan Chime. And about 10,000 people fear dead in the Philippines, deadly surge. Good to have you join us again. We begin tonight with the story that the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has disagreed sharply with the recent report by Swiss-based NGO, the Berne Declaration, which accused it of collusion with some local and international oil traders to execute unfair industry practices. The acting Group General Manager, Public Affairs Division of NNPC, Tumini Green, says that the publication is not only bogus, but strewn with inaccurate and poorly researched data, which defies common sense and veritable evidence on ground in Nigeria. The NNPC wonders why the Berne Declaration would say that the process leading to the award of term contract for lifting of Nigeria's crude is shrouded in mystery, when to the NNPC it is common knowledge that the call for tender for this contract is periodically published by almost all the newspapers in Nigeria via paid advert placements. The NNPC spokesperson goes on to explain that in practice, the corporation sells Nigerian government equity crude oil to lifters and traders engaged on annual term contract basis, and that at present there are about 50 of such term contracts. The NNPC insists that Nigeria crude oil is sold at published official selling price, which is not only benchmarked against the internationally recognized pricing institution, but also fixed after a critical analysis of market fundamentals and price determinants at global level. The war of words between rights group Amnesty International and oil giant Shell has continued to elicit different shades of reactions. Amnesty International has questioned Shell's claim for oil spill in Nigeria, saying the oil company manipulated investigations into the cause and amount of oil spill to avoid compensation to oil-producing communities. The Anglo-Dutch oil company rejects the claim as unsubstantiated assertions that they have exaggerated the impact of crude oil theft and sabotage to distract attention from operational performance. Correspondent Omologo Nadi takes a look at the controversy and the impact of oil spill to host communities in the Niger Delta.
Oil spillage has been an issue in the Niger Delta region over the years. The issue has led to restiveness and militancy in the area, with some indigents paying the supreme price for their campaign against degradation of the environment as a result of oil exploration in the region. In a new report published last week by human rights group Amnesty International and the Center for Environment, Human Rights and Development CEHRD, Shell Petroleum was accused of deliberately providing wrong information on the causes of oil spills, the volume of oil spilled, or the extent and adequacy of cleanup measures. According to the report, Shell is being disingenuous about the devastation caused by its Niger Delta operations. Amnesty International said analysis by an independent expert revealed that official Shell investigation reports into causes of oil spills in the region can be very subjective, misleading, and downright false. The National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency in Austria described the report by Amnesty International as significant and accurate to a great extent. Without reference to Shell Petroleum, the agency said the issue of volume of spillage reported by oil companies in Nigeria has always been questionable.
The oil companies are not reporting accurately the volume of oil spilled into the environment and the actual volume recovered. The total volume which they quote is usually, more or less a hypothetical, guesswork.
The Anglo-Deutsche Oil Company, however, rejected the claim by the rights group and described the report as unsubstantiated assertions that they have exaggerated the impact of crude oil theft and sabotage to distract attention from operational performance.
The testing that UNEP did, we repeated those tests. The technique is one thing. I think it's the results that we're looking for. And the results are as measured from samples. And if the results are good and satisfactory, then that site is cleaned up well enough, I would think.
The latest report by Amnesty International also raised the issue of weak legislation to check the frightening trend of oil spill without recompense. So far, only the Nostria Act, which is being amended by the National Assembly, provides an avenue to compel compliance.
In most regulatory environments, one of the strongest tools you use to enforce compliance are fines and penalties. I do not think that the current act gives much latitude for that. Because the truth about it is that you can create an offense, but if there's no punishment or penalty created, what is the disincentive for committing that offense?
It appears that Shell is the one dictating, the judge in their own court. They're the one dictating what method they use. They're the one dictating when they will change their pipelines. And I think those are the kind of defects that we have in the system. It is the regulatory bodies that should tell them this is what you should do.
Hundreds of oil spills occur in Nigeria annually, which cause horrendous damage to the environment, place human health at serious risk, and destroy livelihoods, while oil companies are accused of bearing little or no responsibility for the spills. This trend is likely to continue, many say, unless stiff sanctions and strict compliance is ensured through legislation. Omelogo Nadi, Channels Television News.
And this is good news for kerosene users to improve the sales of kerosene across the country. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has flagged off a nationwide distribution initiative that will ensure that the product sells at a controlled pump price of 50 naira per litre. The national president of IPMAN, Abdulkadir Aminu, said the exercise is to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians who cannot afford the cooking gas. He said the process would be monitored to ensure compliance.
We are trying to create awareness between the people and the usage of kerosene and gas, the prices, the advantages, the environmental advantages that gas gives over and above kerosene. But it is an issue that you cannot do it overnight. It is an issue that you have to go on gradually. But in the meantime, what do we do to give people succor? This is exactly what we are doing now. It's just a circle. It's a bridge that we want to close between the gas availability and the people utilization. This particular exercise, I want to assure each and every one of you and the rest of Nigerians that this particular program will continue. We will ensure that at any given time we will be visiting the various zones in this country. It is not a night shift business. It is going to be a continuous business, and we will ensure that at least fortnightly we will be moving out to ensure that our zonal chairmen are doing exactly what we instruct them to do.
That's the national president of IPMAN, Abdulkadir Aminu. An illegal mini refinery located at Ahia Joku Estate along Onitsha Expressway in Owerri, the Imo State capital, has been uncovered by the Imo State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the NSCDC. Acting on intelligence reports, the NSCDC raided a fence-uncompleted building premises where adulterated oil products are sold to members of the public. Now, some of the items allegedly recovered are 10 drums of adulterated crude oil, pumping machine, and over 20 jerry cans. According to the Imo State Commandant of the NSCDC, Mr. Adamu Soja, 6 people have been arrested in connection with the illegal refinery.
I've received an intelligence report of these people doing the nefarious activities of, in fact, a mini refinery was located amidst the city here in Ori, an uncompleted building, well fenced and with a heavy gate inside. As soon as we received the information, I led the operation there, and we went and arrested about 6 persons that are involved with these nefarious activities.
The president remains upbeat about the performance of the nation's economy and says foreigners continue to show interest in spite of security challenges. President Goodluck Jonathan, who attended the 26th Jubilee Festival of the World of Life Bible Church and the birthday celebration of the president of Christian Association of Nigeria, Pastor Ayo Orishejafo, told the gathering that his transformation agenda is on track and that Nigerians stand to benefit from it.
Reforms are opening up key sectors of the economy, attracting private sector investment and developing local capacity. They are also generating rapid growth, creating wealth and growing jobs for our young, dynamic and able-bodied population. In spite of the security challenges in parts of the country, our economy has recorded a significant GDP growth, averaging 7% annually in the last 3 years. Considering the world average, this is quite impressive. Nigeria is among the top 5 nations that has the highest interest in foreign direct investment. 2 global credit rating agencies have also rated our economy positive, and we believe that it will continue to be so.
Now, just like the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Pastor Ayo Orishejafo, is of the view that the president transformation agenda is going quite well. The CAN president is also appealing to the elite and to those at the grassroots level to work more with the security agencies to ensure reduction in criminal activities and in the process encourage foreigners to invest in Nigeria.
The high level of unemployment, corruption, crime and criminality is very troubling. But our prayer is that as you and your team work to turn things around, the Lord will give you grace, give you wisdom, give you courage, and give you determination to fight and win the battle in Jesus' mighty name. When we stand against injustice, bad governance, the abuse of power and wickedness, ladies and gentlemen, we will reach a Nigeria where the rich will have a conscience and the poor will have hope.
Now, in part 2, after the break, governorship candidates in forthcoming polls in Anambra State engage in fierce town hall conversation. That's after the break. Stay with us.